Alright everyone, what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be covering for loops. We're just going to cover the traditional for loop and the steps that are involved within the for loop. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to start my structure for. Then I go into step 1. So step 1 is called my initialization step. And what I do is I use a variable that can be used within the for loop to substitute for mathematical equations, but most of the times what it does is it keeps track of our loop. It's kind of like our counter variable. Okay, so that's the first step. The second step is I'm going to add a conditional expression. Now, like the if statement, what this is saying is as long as j is less than 5, go into the for loop and run whatever statements or whatever arguments are there. So for int j equals 0, j is less than 5, and then our last step, which is called the step expression, j++. What that does is it increments the loop. So I'm going to say hello 5 times. So I run this right now, and you can see in our console it runs 5 times. So what's happening is int j is equal to 0. Is 0 less than 5? If it is, it goes directly into the body of the loop, prints out hello. There's nothing left after the print statement, so then it comes here to the last part, the step expression adds 1. J is now equal to 1. Is 1 less than 5? And it keeps doing this over and over again until this becomes false. At the point that j becomes 5, is 5 less than 5? Yes, it is. Therefore, it's false. Therefore, it terminates the loop. Okay? This is just a simple for loop. That is the structure. Now let's talk about this counter variable right here. I want us to take a look. If I go and I try to print this variable, j, you'll notice that I get an error right here. This j is what we call a local variable because it has been declared within the for loop. Okay? Anything that is declared within a for loop or within an if statement or any like encapsulation environment within Java, you can't access outside of it. So we can actually modify this. I can actually cut this and paste this here. Now what I've done is I've created what we call a global variable. This global variable will now act as the counter for the for loop. So as you can see, j is equal to 0. Because I'm using a global variable, I can just leave this part right here blank. Is 0 less than 5? Yes, it is. And then I go in here, but you'll also notice that I have one last statement, 5. This will actually print out the value of j. This works now because this is outside. It's declared outside of the for loop. So that's just a brief introduction to the for loop. We're going to get over into more complex issues with it, but for now, this should just kind of get you into a groove, into an intro.